You ever taken a flight on a major airlines and heard about the pilot and co-pilot going through their pre-flight checklist? Probably not. We take that for granted that someone's already been looking ahead to make sure our flight takes off correctly, that everything on that plane is in good working condition, that our time up in the air is safe and everything's working while we're up in the air, and also all of our landing gear is set for when we land that plane, we're going to come down properly. You ever been on a flight that was kind of shaky with wind turbulence and all those things? You're counting on that plane working at its optimum ability while you're up in the air and during takeoff, up in the air flight, and landing. Well, what you don't know is that pilot and co-pilot have gone through an extensive checklist. They're looking at everything on that plane, from all the instruments to make sure they work correctly, what the weather is going to be like that day, if they have enough fuel, if they have the right type of oil, enough oil, and the temperature of that oil to make sure it's going to operate correctly. They also check all the instruments. They also check the wings, the flaps, the engine, make sure everything's there, the landing gear, the tire pressure. Everything is an important component to the proper takeoff and landing of that flight. Any operation that we do, from driving a truck to operating a piece of equipment to working out in our trenches or working around our electrical components, it's very important that we stop and do a pre-checklist of what our day's like. It's a risk assessment. We're looking at everything that's possibly could go wrong and making sure we're set for the best case scenario, that we can do our job safely and come home to our families safe at the end of the day. So think about it, and before you start your task that you have before you today, make sure you've gone through your pre-flight checklist.